Hi everyone, I'm Tom. I'm the product manager at UpRate, and I just wanted to demo today a new feature that we've built, which is a Xero integration. So you've always been able to process invoices within UpRate, but previously you'd have to create the invoice in your external accountancy systems, so Xero or Sage, export it and then upload it into UpRate before sending it off to the customer. So what we've built now is an integration that will let you stay within UpRate, process everything, send it to the customer, and then we will automatically send that data into Xero for you, so you don't ever have to leave the UpRate system. So I've got a demo account set up. I'm just going to go to my Xero demo account, and then I'll create a new customer here. So I'm going to go sales, customers, new contact. I'll call it BAM Nuttall, and then for the account number, the reference, I'll just put BAM, all caps. I'll create that account. You can see I've now created a new customer for BAM Nuttall. I now jump back into UpRate and I go to the sales manager and click into BAM. You can see there's this new button up here because I've already configured my integration. It says connect to Xero on the customer page. If I click on that and then I search for BAM, you'll see that that customer that I've just added into Xero is now showing in the drop down. So I'll choose that one, say connect, and that's now linked the two up so that my customer BAM Nuttall in the UpRate system is now connected to the BAM Nuttall customer in Xero. If I never need to change that, I can come back to this page, click again on the connected bit now. It shows it's linked to BAM Nuttall, but if I wanted to change it, I could change it from here. So now that I've done that, if I now go to last week and I book this LTR 1100 crane onto one of the BAM Nuttall jobs, so the steel frame erection, save that. That's now booked in. As usual, the UpRate system has created a invoice that needs to be processed for that job automatically. So if you go Invoice Manager, you can see that's here. If I now click into that, you see the page looks more or less the same as it has sort of always done. But what is now new is if I fill out the chargeable items table and I say we're charging for the crane hire, I'll put quantity one, I'll say 1500, 1500. I can now select a tax type or a sales type, tax rate, sorry. So I've got 5 options now. So I had the standard VAT 20%, 5% or 0. I've also got DRC 20%, DRC 5%. So this is your domestic reverse charge, which might be used for quite a few of the projects within the UK construction industry. If I go DRC 20, I've then got the sales type drop down, so I can choose which account within Xero this should go to. So what the app's doing here is it's going to Xero, it's getting all of the revenue or sales accounts that are set up in Xero, bringing it back, and that's what's in the drop down. So if I just choose 200 sales, once I've done that, I'm happy that this is what I need to charge for the customer. I'm going to click Finalize Invoice, get this panel comes into view. You can see, as before, we've got the invoice document and the supporting document section. But there's nothing in there yet. I've also got this button at the top which says Submit to Xero. Now, if I want, I can just manually upload an invoice document as I've always been able to do. So if I've already set this invoice up in Xero, then I can export it as a PDF and I can just upload it here. But what's new now is if I click that button at the top, it's going to show me a warning. I'm going to read through the disclaimer. I understand, submit. And then that's going to send off to Xero to write this data into Xero and create the invoice within that system. It's then, once that's successful, it's going to grab the PDF invoice from Xero and then bring it into UpRate. So that's what you can see has happened there. I've now got an invoice document within the invoice section. If I hover over that, it's got a Xero sign just to show it's come from Xero. If I open that up, it's created an invoice automatically for me. If there's a PO number that you set up in UpRate, it will automatically add it to the document for you under the reference section. I didn't add a PO number, so it's not done that this time. It's going to add the contract number. So the UpRate contract number was 0002. And if I look at the PDF that's been generated, you can see the contract number is included already in the invoice at the top there. It's included that charge item that I added, so crane hire 1 for 1500. And then it's also tagged it as DRC, domestic reverse charge, 20%. So I'll read through this, make sure the invoice is sort of as I need it to be. I'm all happy. I'll jump back to the invoice page. If I wanted to add any additional documents, so timesheets or anything else to this package before it goes off to the customer, I could do. If we'd collected any timesheets within the system, they would already be loaded in here already. It's all obviously stuff that the system already does. And then when I'm good to go, I can go send to customer. I'm going to type in the customer email address, just going to use my own for now. And then again, get a disclaimer because I've now inputted a address. I can add more addresses if I want. So if there's more than one contact who needs to get the email, I can do that. But in this case, it's just the one. I can go, I understand, send, and then what that's going to do is it's going to package up the invoice document that I've got from Xero, any timesheets or supporting documents, which in this case there aren't any. It's going to send that off to the customer, and then it's going to tell me here that it's been sent. So if I now jump back to Xero, and I go to sales, and I go to invoices, what we'll see is here at the top, that invoice has now been generated and sent from UpRate into Xero. So you can see here I've got an invoice for BAM Nuttall created today, due date automatically a month later, although the due date should come off of whatever you've set up for the contact in Xero. Paid nothing because I've not paid it yet. Due 1,500 because that's how much they owe. That's how much I put into the table. And then status awaiting payment. So yeah, you can send the invoices directly from UpRate into Xero, and it just means you don't have to jump between the two systems. I could have done all of that without Xero being logged in and set up in the background. So that's sort of the easiest normal path. Every time I do an invoice now for BAM Nuttall across all the different contracts, it will already know which customer to send it to in Xero, and I can just work through it like that. If I pick a job for a different customer, so if I now book the 1060 crane onto a Kelpray job. Now I've not yet set up Kelpray and linked it to the customer, so I'll go to Xero, go to customers, and I'll create a new contact or new customer in Xero or Kelpray. Comes to the account number, just set it to Kelpray all caps. So create a new customer. I've booked that job in. If I go back to the invoice manager, you can see my BAM Nuttall one's now sent, but now I've got this new one in the to-do list for Kelpray. If I click into that, again, I'm just going to say crane hire one, £2,000 for this week. Choose my my VAT amount. So this time I'm just going to do a standard VAT 20%, and then sales type. This time I'll choose 260 other revenue. I'm going to go to finalize invoice, and now because I've not yet set Kelpray up and told UpRate which Xero customer my Kelpray customer needs to match to, you can see I've now got this sort of big red button here, which is submit to Xero. You need to connect to a Xero customer before I can continue. So I'm going to click that. See the same pop-up that I had before. I'm just going to search Kelpray. Then I get this one here. That's the right customer. Click that. Connect. That's now connected. My UpRate customer Kelpray is now connected permanently to that Xero customer. Once again, if you need to change it at any point, you can do that through the sales manager, but for now that should all be good. And then again, if I say submit to Xero, so what I'll do first, I'll close that out, add a purchase order number onto this job just to show you what that looks like. I'll go to sales manager Kelpray, go to contract, I'm going to say PO 123456789. Added a PO number to the contract, I go back to the invoice, go to finalize, I'm going to send all that data to Xero. Just take a second. That's sent. It's got the PDF back. Now, if I open up that new PDF, you can see it's an invoice made out to Kelpray on this date with the PO number here under the reference section in the header. Again, it's got my contract number. It's got my crane hire line item, £2,000 for this invoice. 20% VAT this time, so it's not a domestic reverse charge. So it's going to say £400 VAT for a total invoice of 2,400. So come back here. Again, no timesheets on this one. If there was, they would already be there for me. I'm going to send to customer. Because I've already sent an invoice to this email address, it's going to pop up in the autocomplete. I'll just send it to the same one. I understand. Send. And then that's, again, sent off the invoice both to the customer and then also it's already in Xero. So if I flip back to Xero and I go invoices again, you'll see that now we had Bam Nuttall was the first one. We've now got this new one to Keltbray today, £2,400. And then under ref, you can see that the PO number that Keltbray gave me and put onto UpRate is now included there. So we're really excited to roll this out and get people set up with it. Please do reach out if it's of interest and we can help you get started. And yeah, we think it will really save people a lot of time just jumping between systems, and it will mean that we can make sure your accounts are always up to date and you don't ever miss an invoice. Right, thank you.